Hello, BookTube. I'll only make one video today, but I didn't want to go the whole day without seeing your faces. I had a guest here at Hyde Cottage. That's always wonderful. But it does throw things off, and I need to make up some room. I need to gain some ground, which kind of precludes 5 videos or 2 hour live stream. So we'll just do a little mail. It's just a quick mail haul. There are 2 packages here. I didn't want to open them without you. One is tiny, and one is a box. So we cover the spectrum here. This one, the first one, this little white envelope, is so small that it either is a catalog or a slim volume of poetry. There's no legitimate book that could be this size. Let's see. Let's see what this is. Well, well, I did say no legitimate book, didn't I? This is a work of translation. This is a work in translation. This is by Edouard Louis. This is A Woman's Battles and Transformations. It is 50 pages long. Let's see here. This is coming out in late August, and it's been translated from the French by Tash Aw, A-W. And this is from the author of The End of Eddy, which I believe I reviewed, and which the author wrote when he was very young. It was published in France when he was just 21 years old. The author became an international sensation, garnering comparisons with literary heavyweights like Zola and Genet. Lambda Literary says Louis is like Hervé Guibert in his fearless and searching moral inventory of himself. That is absolute nonsense. The End of Eddy was ridiculous. It wasn't even bad. It didn't even rise to that level. It was just embarrassing. So of course he became a sensation. Of course it became, a hit. In his latest, this is an autobiographical account of his tumultuous relationship with his mother. But while his previous book centered more on the reproduction of violence, this is a story about what it means to break free. The author has written extensively about growing up gay and poor in a working-class French town and the abuse he endured at the hands of the men in his life, namely his father. So the men in his life, namely his father. So first it's a whole group of people, then it's one individual person. And there's... anyway, my reaction to this book will not be a retroactive rant about The End of Eddy. But... boy, oh boy, The End of Eddy, this author, Garth Greenwell, I should have seen this coming. I should have seen the current state of the most celebrated branch of gay fiction in the world today in English, which is this weird, necrotic, lying, self-pitying pathology literature that just, that's almost enough to turn you straight. Let's see here. In this book, the author tells a different story, one that puts his mother in the spotlight. With characteristic compassion and delicacy, he details the ways in which the world constrained her and her subsequent battle for liberation, recounting moments from their shared history and expanding on questions of class, poverty, and power that have loomed large in his work. He began to see his mother with fresh eyes, allowing him to confront the past that continues to haunt him. The result is a short, fragmented narrative, both brutally honest and quietly devastating. Okay. Well, I can certainly attest to the fact that this will almost positively be devastating to read. But it comes out in late August. I will report back. And if I remember, I am a little bit distracted. But if I remember, I will find and leave a link to my review of The End of Eddy on this video. But the other is a box, and it's a box from W.W. Norton, who's one of my favorite publishers. So we can only hope here that this will be significantly different. Let's see here. Huh. Okay. Well, this is a finished copy, so this is probably due soon. Blurbs all down the front of the thing. Yeah, this comes out on June the 21st. Is this more translated literature? You don't list a translator, so I'm assuming not. No, okay. This is not a bad cover design. I'm a little bit shocked. I expect American book designs to be like this. But this is the book that we're dealing with here. Daughters of the Flower Fragrant Garden. Try saying that 2 times in a row. Daughters of the Flower Fragrant Garden. Okay, well, my criticisms are on hand for book jacket design in America, all of which needs help. But my services are on demand for free for any publisher at any time, around the clock, to come up with good titles for your books instead of god-awful titles for your books. I would be happy to do that. I'll read the manuscript. Usually it only takes about 3 paragraphs or 3 chapters to find a perfect title, a really good title, instead of a really bad title. The subtitle is Two Sisters Separated by China's Civil War. And this is the finished copy that will come out in late June. This is the remarkable story of 2 sisters, inseparable as children, whose lives are irrevocably disrupted when the bamboo curtain drops overnight between communist mainland China and nationalist Taiwan. Their decades-long separation and gritty determination to succeed embodies the transatlantic spirit of the nation itself. Growing up in China during the 1920s and 30s, sisters Jun and Hong lived in their extended family in an opulent home named the Flower Fragrant Garden. Perched atop a hill in Fuzhou City, Fujian Province, scions of the legendary Chen family that produced the tutor of the last Chinese emperor, the sisters were well educated and devoted to each other. In 1949, in the midst of China's civil war and on the cusp herself of beginning a much sought-after position teaching history, 26-year-old Jun left for a short vacation, visiting a friend on the island of Jinmen, just a mile offshore from the mainland city of Xiamen. Little did Jun know that at the time that she would not set foot again on mainland China for another 30 years. Wow. Soon after Jun's arrival in Jinmen in the summer of 1949, the island would become a major battleground between the communists on the verge of taking control of all of mainland China and the retreating nationalists. The nationalist forces somehow managed to prevail in Jinmen, retaining control of the small island even after their government's full evacuation to the mainland and retreat to Taiwan. As a result, Jun and Hong, through a twist of fate, ended up totally cut off from each other on opposing sides of the Civil War. With her beloved older sister publicly associated with the wrong side, Hong finds herself responsible for taking care of their family and must make painful decisions. Okay. Fantastic. So who is the author? A professor of East Asian Studies at Brown University and the author of 4 scholarly books on Chinese linguistics. Okay, well, this is late June is still a little bit too late for me here at the beginning of May, but this goes on the finished copy pile for June. So I'm gathering that this is nonfiction, right? Otherwise, it would be telling me all over the place that it's fiction. I'm gathering that this is nonfiction. Yeah, it's got photographs and everything. Okay, so we have a little work of fiction that is autofiction and has no creativity in it, and a big work of nonfiction. So that is the mail for today. I'm afraid that's going to have to do it for today, but hopefully things will be back to normal tomorrow. So I will sign off for now, and I will see you then. Thank you, BookTube.